Hey there, it's Kay, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today I'll be budgeting my first paycheck of December, but as always, before I get into it, I just want to say thank you so much to all my returning subscribers. Thank you for joining me again, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. I'm about to hit 300, and it would be such a big goal for me to hit that by the end of the month, so please consider following me on my journey, and without further ado, let's get into it. So here we are, guys, in the last tab of the month. We're in December, and if you haven't already seen my December monthly budget, I highly recommend you go ahead and watch, and I'll have that in the info card up there in the top right. But today we are working on the actual paycheck budget. So let's get into this, and I'm going to need to grab my gas cash envelope because I have a little bit of cash rollover, so I'm gonna need that. First, my actual for my paycheck is $969. So I was pretty close on that one, but I have cash envelope rollover that I didn't budget for, and I think it's $22. Yeah. So we have $22. So we have $969 plus 22. So we're working with $991. So we're working with $91 more than I budgeted for, which is awesome because that gives me more wiggle room in my snowball. But let's see. So let's move on to fixed expenses, and I'm gonna give you a gentle zoom there. So my rent, I did budget correctly. It was $405 was the remainder of what I needed to finish out my November rent. So that's all set. And Spotify was $4.99. I rounded up to $5 and keep the penny in my checking account as a buffer. Then my credit union minimum was $52, and my Creative Cloud was like $16 and change with tax, so $17. Samsung Cloud was $1, and Sprint, yep, $36. So all of these were budgeted accurately. I'm fairly good at my fixed expenses, budgeting those out. So there is no change on these. So this still ended up being $516, and we started with $991 minus $516, so we now have an excess of $475, which I'll bring down here to my cash envelopes, because this is my flow chart of money priority. And I'm like a lister type, so I'm listing down the left-hand side and then move over and list down the right-hand side. So we're listing down. My next financial priority when I get paid is my variable expenses, which go in my cash envelopes. So for allowance, I will do 20. For eating out, I'll do 20. For gas, I'll do 20. Laundry, I'm gonna skip grocery real quick. Laundry 20 and pet 20, and because I want to figure out, I think I'm gonna put this $2 in with grocery, because I don't really, like, what am I gonna do with that? That's why I think I'll just stick this as a 102. So that means my envelope total is just gonna be 202 because I'm only changing that, right? Yeah. First, let's figure out the difference between these really quick. So 475 minus 384. So we're still 91. So I'm still plus 91. So I know I'm still on track. And for grocery, I went over by 2. So I'm actually a deficit of 2. And these are 0. And these are 0. So envelope total is deficit 2, and then with 91 minus 2, it's going to be 89. that we have in the surplus. And 475 minus 202, so 273 left over. And I forgot to zero bill total on that. Alright, so moving up, for my Snowball, I budgeted 184, and if I take 273 minus 84, 184, that should be $89. Yep, so that's perfect because I'm not going to be stuffing anything in my sinking funds or in any of my checking accounts or anything. So we're completely on track. So we had a surplus of 89, which I'm carrying into my Snowball amount. So I'm going to be paying an extra $273 onto my DCU Visa, which is my last credit card that I have to pay off. So that's going to be awesome. So we're going to do 273 with nothing left over. And we're deficit 89 because we're paying $89 more than we're budgeted for. So deficit 89. And we started with a surplus and then we deficit that amount. So we are zeroed out on the budget. That's it. So again, not stuffing anything in my sinking funds, which is very sad, but I'm doing my best to work with the money that I have coming in and not trying to take anything out of my checking or savings accounts. So for a little while, I will have very slow progress in my sinking funds, which I'm okay with. All right, so I'm gonna come down here to this little square that I have, and I just want to mark my Snowball progress. So I had on my monthly budgeted, I think it was 401 for my Snowball amount. So I'm at 273 out of 401 after this paycheck, which is 68%. And if you want to know, you divide them and then multiply by 100. I move the decimal like just by looking at it. But so we are 68% to my Snowball goal for the month, just off of this one paycheck. And my next paycheck should be just a tiny bit bigger because I have a travel reimbursement coming in. So I definitely should be able to hit my Snowball goal and maybe even a little bit more. So yeah, there was my budget for my first paycheck of December. I hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like down below. Thank you so much for making it to the end. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.